Rise again, turning failures into fuel for success. Keynote 1: Understanding failure as a teacher, not an enemy. Failure is not the opposite of success, it is a part of it. Every setback holds a hidden lesson. Instead of allowing failure to define us, we can study it, learn from it, and turn it into a foundation for growth. Understanding the psychology of failure helps transform fear into curiosity, and disappointment into determination. Keynote 2: The Power of Resilience and Mindset. Resilience is the art of bouncing back stronger than before. When we change our mindset from I failed to I learned, we shift from self-pity to self-improvement. A resilient person doesn't deny pain, they process it, adapt, and keep moving forward. The right mindset turns challenges into opportunities. Keynote 3: Transforming Failure into Actionable Growth. True success begins when we take what we've learned from failure and apply it to the next attempt. By reflecting, adjusting, and persisting, we convert our failures into fuel energy that drives us toward mastery. Growth comes not from avoiding mistakes but from analyzing and evolving through them. Failure, a word that most people fear, avoid, or deny. Yet, if we look closely, failure is not our enemy. It is our greatest teacher. Every time we stumble, we receive a message from life itself, a message that reveals what needs to change, what needs to improve, and what we are truly capable of when we rise again. In education, failure is often treated as the end of the road, a poor grade, a missed opportunity, or an unfulfilled goal. But in reality, failure is the beginning of understanding. Think of it like an experiment in science. When the result doesn't match our expectations, it doesn't mean the experiment failed, it means there's something new to learn. The same principle applies to life. Each setback provides valuable data about our choices, habits, and efforts. When students or professionals fail, they often fall into self-doubt, questioning their abilities and worth. But those who succeed in the long run understand a deeper truth: failure refines you before it rewards you. It strips away comfort, exposes weaknesses, and forces you to build strength in areas you once ignored. That process is uncomfortable, but it's essential for growth. To understand failure as a teacher, we must first shift our perspective. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" we should ask, "What is this trying to teach me?" This small change in thinking transforms failure into a lesson rather than a loss. It trains the mind to observe, reflect, and adapt. The world's most successful people, scientists, athletes, innovators, and entrepreneurs, all share this mindset. They treat every setback as feedback. Education systems and life experiences both teach us one important fact: the path to mastery is never straight. If success were instant, there would be no learning, no character building, and no resilience. Failure introduces humility. It teaches patience. It builds emotional intelligence, the ability to manage frustration and maintain focus even when outcomes disappoint. Understanding failure as a teacher also involves self-awareness. It means recognizing the role we played in our results, not to blame ourselves, but to take responsibility. Responsibility gives power. It allows us to see that we can change our methods, our mindset, and our strategies. Once we realize that failure is temporary but the lessons are permanent, we begin to grow beyond limits. So, the next time failure knocks, don't close the door. Invite it in. Ask questions. Learn its lessons. Because every failure carries within it the seeds of success. The only people who never fail are those who never try, and those who never try never grow. Failure isn't the end of your story, it's simply the chapter where you learn how to rise again. Resilience is not about avoiding challenges, it is about standing firm when they arrive. It is the strength of the human spirit that refuses to break, no matter how many times it bends. In every phase of life, whether academic, personal, or professional, the ability to rise after falling defines true success. Resilience is the invisible force that turns pain into power and obstacles into stepping stones. At its core, resilience is built on mindset, the way we interpret events around us. A person with a fixed mindset believes that abilities are limited and that failure is a reflection of personal weakness. But a person with a growth mindset understands that every challenge is a chance to evolve. When we say, "I can't do this yet," we open the door for learning. The word "yet" becomes the bridge between struggle and success. Education plays a vital role in shaping this mindset. Students who learn to see mistakes as learning tools develop confidence and creativity. They experiment more, ask questions, and discover innovative solutions. Similarly, in life, resilient people don't run from difficulty, they face it with patience and faith. They know that storms don't last forever, but the strength built while facing them does. Resilience also requires emotional control. It means understanding that setbacks are natural, not personal. Instead of reacting with frustration or quitting too early, resilient individuals pause, reflect, and find new approaches. They use criticism as feedback, not as a reason to give up. This mental flexibility keeps their motivation alive even when results take time. Another crucial element of resilience is self-belief. When you trust in your ability to improve, you stop seeing problems as barriers and start viewing them as opportunities for transformation. Every successful person you admire today once faced failure, but what separated them from the rest was their mindset. They refused to surrender, even when progress was invisible. Building resilience takes time. It grows with every trial, every failure, and every recovery. The mind becomes stronger each time it chooses hope over despair. In the end, resilience is not about never falling, it is about rising faster each time you do. Because when your mindset is strong, no setback can keep you down for long. Failure becomes powerful only when we transform it into action. Learning from mistakes is not enough, progress begins when lessons are applied. Every setback carries within it a direction, a sign pointing toward improvement. The real question is not why did I fail, but what can I do differently next time? This shift in focus changes failure from a painful memory into a plan for growth. Actionable growth begins with reflection. Taking time to analyze what went wrong helps identify weak points, whether it's in preparation, discipline, or attitude. Reflection turns emotional disappointment into logical understanding. Once you see the cause clearly, you can design a new strategy to move forward with more wisdom and less fear. The second step is adjustment. Growth means evolving with every experience. When one method doesn't work, change it, not your goal. Adjust your timing, your effort, or your approach. This adaptability separates achievers from quitters. Successful individuals keep improving until success becomes inevitable. Finally, persistence is the fuel that keeps growth alive. Applying lessons once is not enough, consistency transforms small improvements into lasting success. Each new attempt becomes stronger because it's built on the foundation of previous lessons. That is how failure turns into mastery, through steady, focused repetition. In truth, growth is a journey, not a jump. Every time we turn a mistake into a meaningful lesson and act on it, we take one step closer to our potential. Failure, then, is not a full stop, it's a comma, a pause before the next great sentence of our success story. The key is to keep moving, keep learning, and keep transforming your failures into the very fuel that drives your victory. Conclusion: rise again, turning failures into fuel for success. As we come to the end of this reflection, remember, failure is not the end of your journey, it is the beginning of your transformation. Every great achievement in history was built upon countless attempts, sleepless nights, and moments of doubt. What separates those who rise from those who remain defeated is not luck, it is their attitude toward failure. When life knocks you down, rise again. Rise with more knowledge, more wisdom, and more strength. The lessons hidden in failure are like seeds, they grow only when you nurture them with effort and patience. Resilience is your water, mindset is your sunlight, and action is the soil where your growth takes root. Education teaches us facts, but failure teaches us strength. The classroom of life doesn't give easy tests, it gives experiences that shape character, confidence, and courage. The more you fall and stand again, the more unstoppable you become. So, the next time you fail, pause, breathe, and smile. Tell yourself, this is not the end of my story, it's the chapter where I rise again. Because success is not measured by how high you climb, but by how many times you stand up after falling. Turn every failure into a lesson, every lesson into action, and every action into progress. Keep moving, keep believing, and keep rising, because your greatest success is waiting on the other side of your strongest comeback.